Good morning, all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Happy to meet you again and then have the chance to talk about one more heritage location. This time, this is going to be Pondy. In this video, around 20 to 30 minutes, we are going to talk about the unique temples, iconic temples of Pondy, and how they are influenced by the Aurobindo movement and also the French colonial culture. This is a re-recording of Pondicherry Heritage Festival, which was held in Pondicherry last month uh, and this month, first week. Due to this Heritage Week, Sri Aurobindo Society and AuroBharati conducted a one-day session on to commemorate the 150th birth centenary of Sri Aurobindo. This was titled as Pondy, the Cave of Tapasya. So it was a afternoon session with a lot of scholars participating in it. In this, I did a presentation of 20-30 minutes on temple heritage of Pondy. This is a re-recording of the same presentation with a little more details. Because of time constraint, we couldn't talk much in detail about the temple. It's a little elongated recording of the same content. So in this, we are going to cover the temple heritage of Pondy and how the cave of Tapasya was existing earlier and how it was transformed with the Aurobindo and Pondy culture. When we talk about temples, we visualize by our ancestors, it was visualized by a human body. And if you see this, the basic components of the temples are analogous to a person with the gopuram being the feet, this is the body, this is the head. And this is also visualized as a variety of lingas specific in various areas, Bhadralinga, and then Moolanatha as this one, and the temple Vimana itself is visualized as Akantalinga. They also visualized this as 6 yoga chakras in the body, starting from the feet all the way up to the head. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anataha, Visuddha, and Agna Chakram being the Vimana part in the sanctum. So if you take a sample of a temple, for example, we see the Thanjavur Big Temple, it matches perfectly. The feet is Gopuram, the body, the Mahamandavas, and the sanctum proper is your Agna Chakra. So, temples were visualized as spiritual and physical centers, and then they were visualized as such. That is how our ancestors are visualized. Now, let us see how we are at present utilizing the temples. Why do we go to the temple nowadays? To worship God. So that is 5 minutes job. And after that, sit down and meditate for inner peace. Because inner peace is not available at home, not available, lot of fight, lot of issues. And this is the only area where you don't get disturbed. Enjoy ambience, beautiful scenery, lot of colorful ladies, cultural events, a lot of dances, festivals, and other things happening. And there is also economic service. What do you mean by economic service? In many temples now it has become a give and take kind of a policy where a lot of huge boards are there where they talk about you light 5 lamps, you will get passed in SSLC. You get 7 lamps, you will get wealth. You get 21 lamps, you will get childbirth. Like that, it has become an economic service. So many pujas, so many services and other things, which is taken more importance than the card. Social meetings. It's a very good clearing of social meetings. Usually, many of the mother-in-laws meet together in the evening and then they chat about their sister-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, and similarly, so the daughter-in-laws congregate. So it is a social meeting which a focus slightly away from the temple and gastronomic experiences. People who sleep late and then who don't get up at the morning 6 o'clock, suddenly in Margali get up for the Margali Pongal, the kind of varieties of prasadams and other things the temple gives. Some people go to the temple specifically for prasadams. In one of the movies, the beggar was having a timetable on in which temple, in which location he has got prasadams on an everyday basis. So this is how we go into temples. So let us see how these temples, which are visualized by our forefathers, went into a very, very matured state by 10th century. In this state, you have a lot of other things to see in a temple other than this. You have the Vimana shapes, various Vimana shapes, square, rectangle, and all these things. And then you have different ideals, beautiful ideals, which depict various forms of gods, sculptures which depict different designs, everyday life stories, inscriptions which give the history about what happened in this temple, how the kings behave, how the society, what was the culture at the point of time, paintings which show the culture, the dresses, the ornamentation at that period, and of course the prasadams, different prasadams, and they also have a history. Interestingly, Oppuliyappan is a god in Tanjavur area where the meaning is Oppuliyappan. This is beyond compare, but somehow it got transferred into Oppuliyappan. Now the god has become a heart patient. So they give saltless Naivedyam to Oppuliyappan. So prasadams also have a lot of history. So we need to see that. Now, this is a generic temple. When it comes to Pondicherry, Sri Aurobindo says Pondicherry is the cave of Tapasya. Why he says like that? Pondicherry at ancient times was called as Vedapuri, and this is where sage Agastya and Lopamutra did tapasya. And as one of his wonders, to support Indra, who was fighting with Vritrasura, all the demons were hiding in underwater caves. Agastya drank all the seawater and exposed the hidden asuras who could be destroyed, and a better world can be designed. If you take a parallel, like Agastya, Aurobindo also came from northern India, get settled here, And then he enlightened, and then he removed a lot of misgivings, and then other conceptual things, and then he exposed the conscience of human with a better clarity. And this is how he is also viewed as a modern Agastya. And why he chose on Pondicherry as a cave of Tapasya was that, according to his biographer, it was a French territory roamed further from Calcutta, and yet India, part of Indian subcontinent, it's a living thing. So it has got a historic past, and then the vibrancy. It has been a holy area of Tapasya and other things. Now, with the coming of the French as a colony, and with Arvinda's incursion at a later point of time, the temple culture in Pondy has been transformed in a slightly subtle way, and then it is aligned in a different way. You could see some unique styles of temples, worship, and conceptual ideas in these temples. Let us see some of the temples. Here, we are in an example highlighting around 9 temples which are spreading from 7th century to 20th century, which can be covered by car or by in 150 meters, probably around some 30-40 kilometers range uh, in and around Pondicherry. When I say Pondicherry, it is not strictly the Pondicherry territory. This is sometimes it is outside Pondicherry territory also, like this one. But again, the spirit of Pondi is always there. So starting from Karneshwara temple, and then Irumbai Magadam, Panchamaganchineya, and then Varadaraja Perumal in Kuntankuzhi, Panchanatheeswara temple in the Ulupuram road, and then Vinnagaram, and 2 temples in Pondi town, Kanniga Parameshwari and Manakkula Vinayakar. So I'm going to cover these temples in the chronological sequence for your convenience. But if you want to cover them in a circuit, according to this, you can cover it in around morning to evening, you can conveniently cover. Starting with the first temple, the iconic, the lesser known temple of Irumbai. This is called the Makaleswar temple, and this is one of the 7th century temple sung by Sambandar as a 260th Sthalam, and it's one of the oldest temples of Pondy area. Mahakala Rishi, who was one of the famous sages, he has installed 3 famous lingas, one in Ujjaini, other in Irumbai, and the third one in Ambar in near Mayoram. So this is one of the famous lingams installed by Maharishi, which is a Swayambhu. Around 500 years ago, there was a sage called Kaduveri Siddhar who lived here and who did penance. And due to the penance, the entire area was heated up, and based on request, a dasi came in, and then by some techniques, he broke the penance of Siddhar, and he understood, and he celebrated this. Later on, the same sage was ridiculed by people due to activities, and he cursed them. He cursed the temple to be broken, and the entire area is rained with rocks. Even now, some of the areas are desert barren around this area. So due to this, the Swayambhulinga broke into 3 parts, and later on it was mended with a band. Even now, after this, when Kadavali Siddhar was requested by the people and the king to modify the curse, he said that the people from far lands will make this deserted area green again. So probably the incursion of Auroville from people all over the world, and then the new settlement is turning this into the greenery and a reality. The entire history of Kaduveli Siddhar is cemented beautifully in bas relief and that too in cement in the outer prakara walls in Kerala murals. This is how it looks like. Beautiful Kerala style drawing murals where they use only limited three types of colors and then variations. And the depiction is also slightly different from our normal traditional Tanjavur or Mysore kind of paintings. So this, since it is cement and other things, it has withstood the vagaries and it is a beautiful temple to spend, walk around and then see the entire history of Kaduveli Siddhar depicted in beautiful poem. This is a phenomenal thing. One I would compare is the Vaiganda Perumal Koil. All the murals of Pallava history is written in the Prakara like this. The entire history of the Siddhar is depicted in pictures. A must-see temple. Next is the 9th century temple called Moolanatha Swamy. See, this is in the early years of Cholas, where Nirpugatunga was there, and then there are inscriptions of Nirpugatunga. And at the time, it was a seat of an ancient Sanskrit college. Later on, when Rashtrakutas defeated Cholas, and then this area was under control, Krishnati, the Rashtrakuta king, made a lot of renovations and inscriptions in this. And later on in 19th century, the French government also did some renovations on the Gopuram and front Bumpuram. But that renovations was in colonial style, which adds value to this temple. So the main sanctum is in the Dravida style, and the Mandapa, Gopura, and other things are in the colonial style. It has got 11 small subscreens and beautifully done, and the Pallava style carvings in the Upabhida of the temple, which is a unique thing. Here we can see the sanctum is behind, and from the front mandapa, and then the Mahamandapa and the Gopuram, all these things are built in a colonial style with arches and typical Manigundu kind of one structure, which reflects French colonial architecture. So it's a mix of Dravida and French structure. Next one to see is fairly established Parantaka Chola period temple in Tirubhuvanai in the Vidappuram road. So this is structured by Parantaka Chola and it is named as Veeranarayana Vinnagaram in the name of Veeranarayana, one of the names of the king. And this area was a Chadurvedi Mangalam, a land or a village donated to Sanskrit Brahmins for building and doing a Veda Padasala, which was in the front of the temple. So this is called in the name of one of the queens of Parandaka Chola called Tirubhuvanai. So it is called Tirubhuvanai Mahadevi Chadurvedi Mangalam, and now it is shortly called as Tirubhuvanai. The temple is built on a big pedestal, and the Vimana is of a later period. Probably it would have been Ashtanga Vimana earlier. Looking by the structure, it looks like so. And it has got a beautiful pedestal. And this entire scenery is with the Yalivari. And also here we have a lot of miniatures from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Vishnu Purana, all over the place. Even the steps and other areas sport a lot of ornamental secular scenery and then lions, elephants, and other beautiful carvings. So this is an interesting temple where you can spend half an hour, 45 minutes. Next one is a nearby Tiruvandar Koil, very near to the main road. And this is Panchanatheeswara, again a Parandaka Chola period temple. It was mentioned as Bahour in inspections. This is well known for beautiful costa sculptures, very, very beautiful costa sculptures, which are spread all over the thing. It is one of the good, matured, tall Chola Vimana with three tier and with more details on the individual Vimana idols. And also a lot of small sculptures are available. The Murugan temple, which is a subsidiary temple, has got beautiful pillars. This is one example of a complete set of crisp Saptamatrika panels which are available in the Panchanatheeswara temple. Again, now we are coming into the Rajaraja period. This is Kuntankuzhi Mahadevar temple. It is in Madagadipattu near the overbridge. This is a classical Rajaraja Yegatala Vimana, which is circular. It was built by Rajaraja, and the uniqueness of this model is a full granite temple, no sudai and other things, and circular shikara in granite, which is very, very difficult. See how this has been structured in multiple components and aligned together. It's a challenge to do it, and very, very neat and compact temple. Probably it would have been extended earlier. This portion is closed now, and the mandapa is damaged, and there is a matching um, Amman temple and a Balipida and a small temple there, and a lot of small Devakostas and idols abound. The Bhudagana and the Shiva Purana miniatures in this area are very, very good. Next is Vilinur temple, which is again on the way to Vilupuram. Thirukameshwara temple, which is a later period temple, which is well known for its beautiful structures, vimanas, and the amount of festivals it has got. It is a huge temple with a tank, and you can spend a lot of time, enjoy the ambience, and a lot of sculptures are there inside this. And it has been renovated in the later Vijayanagara period also. Now, coming to the 17th century, the icon of Pondy, the Manakkula Vinayagar temple. Whenever somebody goes to Pondy, they are asked two questions. Did you visit Mother Ashram? Did you visit Manakkula Vinayagar? So that is the famousness of this temple. And here, this temple is like Pondy, the spirit is there. One of the cleanliest, well-maintained temples. The Pondicherry spirit of cleanliness, structure, and other things is always there. It's not shabby, it is cleaned well. People behave. People who dump vibhuti all over the place in other temples, they quietly put this in the tumbler which is available here. It's a very good culture. In addition to being an iconic Pullayar temple, this is also a museum for Pullayar. When you talk about Vinayaka, if you want to know all things about Vinayaka, every information is there. No other temple boasts this kind of details about temple. The Vinayaka Purana is mentioned in pictorial form here. And then the interesting thing is this priest. Vinayaka is a merchant god, and the merchants have taken them all over Southeast Asia, and how the Vinayaka was represented in various countries and various periods is represented by replication of the gods in Java, Sumatra, Burma, Malaysia, Thailand, and Iran, everywhere, Pakistan, and all the places where the merchants have gone. In addition, recently they have also painted this Vidana with two things. Usually we talk about Rasi and Nakshatra, the celestial nakshatras, which are within the 12 Rasis and the 27 Nakshatras as abstract drawings, which has been represented in our major temples, like in the south, there are actual constellation diagrams. Whereas here, they have visualized them into human forms with the Vagana, Aida, and all these details. This is one unique thing where the human representation is very well drawn. Of course, when you go to Manakkula temple, you need to go with a box of iodex because the amount of neck craning you do in the temple, you're bound to get neck pain, but it is worth the effort, and you can spend around 45 minutes here going through each and every picture. History, it is an old temple which was built on the top of a pond, and it is the only temple where Pillayar is a family man, and it has got a Palli area also where the feet of Pillayar is kept into Palli area. In no other temple, for Pillayar temple, there is a Palli area. So again, another unique temple. The other famous thing of this is, since it is Vighna Vinayaka, the first one to worship, this temple is the first thing. Next to RTO, the second stop is here. Any new vehicle bought, the vehicle puja usually happens here in Pondicherry. Then another interesting temple in the heart of the city, where the Nagaratar, the Chettiars, have built a temple which is called Vasavi Kanniga Parameswari, which is a fusion of French style and Dravida. It has got a Dravida Vimana inside, and that is enclosed by a very long, tall mandapa with a Madras kind of and rafter roof, and then big pillars, which take this to a very, very big height with very airy ambience. The walls are arched with the angels and others forming, and there are a lot of stainless steel panels here. If you see the stainless steel glass panels, stainless glass panels, which give a different kind of colors like a church. So this is something which we need to visit to get the flavor of French style Dravida temple. This shows one of the colorful depictions of Sura Samhara and other gods who are present in the marriage of Muruga. Now, coming to the modern times, the impact of Aurobindo and the impact of the focused oneness and the realization. Dr. Karan Singh, one of the disciples of Aurobindo, built this temple in 2000. It was impacted by tsunami, and later on it was reconstructed in a better way in 2006. This is built of heat resistant, water resistant tiles in a form of a pyramid, and it has got vents in the half length, and inside there is only one idol, the beautiful Nataraja idol. The third eye of Nataraja is almost at the center corner level. Inside, there is always a chanting of oh, oh. You can go there, you can sit down and be at peace, and the vibrations you feel inside the pyramid is something to go there and then experience. Then, now coming to the ultra modern temple, the huge temple of Anjaneya that is in the Dinnivanam road, just outside the toll. This is a Panchamuga Anjaneya built in carved by Namakkal area, and then it has got 36 feet, one of the tallest Anjaneyas with the 5 faces, Garuda, Hayagriva, Narasimha, and Varaha. Narasimha is on the backside. It has got also a matching large Vimana in line. See, the temple sanctum is this tall, and then the Vimana structure is equally tall with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiers and beautifully structured Dravida Vimana, but done in concrete. Here they maintain an example of Pume stone. There is a floating stone which was used to build the Ramasedu across to Sri Lanka. It is an interesting temple, very cleanly maintained again, like Pondicherry stuff, very structured. There are many number of subsidiary trains where you go in a structured queue. Keeping the tourism nature of Pondy in mind, this temple in weekends is open from morning 5:30 to afternoon, night 21:30. So when the traditional temples are closed by 12 o'clock and between 4 o'clock, you can utilize the time to visit this and then have a relaxed time, have prasadam, have lunch outside, and then it's a good place. Finally, the latest one, Savitri Jnanavali Koil. Earlier in Aurobindo, Savitri was the beautiful book, Purana, written by Aurobindo, around 40,000 verses. And later on, it was a library built by the Aurobindo Ashram, which contained huge collection of scholarly books and other. It's a veritable reference library. Now, Savitri has taken form now of a temple. This is near Dindivanam, probably around 40, 45 kilometers from Pondy, but it is managed, built by Auroville Group, and it is a sprawling case where the basic temple of Savitri is already there. What is making it interesting is around this open sprawling space, there are small subsidiary temples that are coming up in the open relating to related subsidiary deities. So this is the main sanctum where the Savitri idol is there. You can go inside, circumambulate, touch and pray to Savitri, and then you can also sit down inside the sanctum and pray to God. In addition, around this main temple, there are 5 open temples. One on the left dedicated to Ganapati. Here also, like the main temple, in the subsidiary temples, you can also do Abhishekam and Puja by yourself, and it is in the open. Similarly, in the south side, facing south, is a Yamadharmaraja idol, and in the west, facing east, is the Gayatri, sister of Savitri, and on the northwest, there is an idol of Bhairava, which is facing north. And finally, facing east from the northern side is a dancing Kalinga Mattanathin surrounded by water. This entire scenery is beautifully maintained. It was started only last year, and now more things are coming up. And on the left side, there is a proposal to bring a replica of the samadhis. And on the right side, there is a proposal to bring a replica of the globe and the linga temple. So it is a growing temple. Now it is in a serene location. And this is the latest temple related and connected with Aurobindo and Auroville, which you must visit. So far we have seen around 9. Now this is the 10th temple, which reflects the tapasya and the spirituality that is available in Pondy region, and how the existing ancient temples are nurtured and the new temples are developed with the fusion of French colonial impact and also some of the philosophies of Sri Aurobindo and the Auroville ashram concepts. So next time when you visit Pondy on a business or pleasure trip, in addition to visiting Auroville and Mother Ashram, please take 1 or 2 days extra time and do visit these temples of Tapasya. Thank you. If you need any further clarifications, I am available in this. This video and several similar videos on architecture, sculptures, and inscriptions are available in my YouTube channel, Babu for Heritage. And the same branding is available in Facebook, YouTube, and other things. It also contains a collection of 90 plus playlists on various heritage topics like North Indian, Dravida, or Nagara, or Vesara architecture, or classified by dynasty wise. There are more than 200 curated videos, best in the category. So do visit and enjoy, and then please share if you are interested. Thank you for your support. So happy that if you are interested, you can view other videos relating to temple architecture sculptures in my YouTube channel. If you are interested, you can share this. Thank you for your support and looking forward to be with you one more time in another edition of temple architecture and art. Thank you. Bye.